Hello, class. So today we are going to go over how any startup can apply this business plan of what we've been reading in the book Traction. So two business ideas that we're going to do today is one, we're going to do a fitness coach for long distance runners. And then two, we're gonna focus on my uncle's company. So one, I like to do fitness, so we'll do one business idea on fitness, and the second one will help my uncle's roofing company um, earn some more traction. So first off, we'll start with sports. Um, the first thing we want to understand is why we're even doing what we're doing to begin with. So I think if you find the reason greater than reality, if you will. I like to ask a lot of people, like, what's the reason greater than reality? That's the first thing you need to do. You need to understand why you even want to do it, and then understand why people quit to begin with. After that, you're gonna want to spend time on. I'd say they in the novel it says 50% rule, so I would master 50%. Really focus on your form and your technique when you are running and paying attention to what time intervals you're hitting. But then the other 50% that you need to be worried about is what you're eating, how you're stretching, how you're sleeping, how much water you're taking in. Those four things will really allow you to push yourself even more when you guys are out there running. And then um, so the third thing that we need to do is find out what traction looks like, what success looks like in our minds. That way, you're hitting your goals that you said that you wanted to in the beginning. So whether that just be how much time, whether that be minutes or hours, how much time you're actually moving. You can track stuff like that. So definitely get a tracker and create categories. You can go on the Counter app. I've mentioned that before on tracking how much time you're actively moving, how many times you're going out there per week, and just overall how many miles you're hitting in a given week. So I think if you track those, at least those three things to begin with, you guys should be all right. And then the next thing is once you figured all of that out on what you need to do, that 50-50 process, you're gonna want to build that bullseye framework of understanding what you are good at. Are you good at running by yourself? Are you good at running by yourself but with other people around you? What works best for you? I found out that I run faster when I run by myself, but I'm at a park with a bunch of people, and I figure out that's where I'm most lucrative in my workout. That's where I get the most out of my workout versus me just working out at home or going on a jog in my neighborhood where you don't really see a lot of people. You go to a park like Memorial Park, you're going to see a lot of people there, and that's just going to give you something to work with. So I found out that in my bullseye framework, working out and seeing a lot of people helps me get motivated. So now, once you understand what you are targeting, you want to channel test what you think is going to work. So whatever, 3 4 ideas that you feel like is going to help you become a better runner and be more consistent showing up, you're going to want to test trial those 4 things and see how they work. Um, then once you figure out what works best, you want to focus on that channel and master that channel and ask people that are in your space to help you master it, scale up, go all in, and optimize um, your performance. And then next, you want to do critical thinking. So all this to say is like prioritize your actions as the traction proceeds. So your plan month one should be different plan from month two because you're prioritizing actions that are aligning with traction. So once you already complete one phase, you want to move on to the next phase. That way you can keep on uh, having traction. That's pretty much it for that business idea. Now we're gonna step into how can I do this for my uncle's roofing company. So first we need to understand where we are messing up in um, in roofing, and where do a lot of the roofing problems occur. And I believe it occurs through the the process after you file with the insurance, is making sure that we are connecting to the customer, talking about in the next 24 to 48 hours you should be contacting your customer at least twice to make them understand that they need to answer to their insurance's email or phone call, because the emails or the insurances don't text. So that's step number one. That's really why a lot of companies fail, is because they don't pay attention to that last 24 to 48 hours after filing. Now, the 50% rule for our roofing. So we're going to spend 50% of our time understanding the process of start to finish, from knocking on a door to putting the roof on the home. That's 50% of it. And then the other 50% is understanding what you're telling the customer when you're on the door. So how to sell them when they're on the door, learning these objections, learning how to help your customer understand where you're coming from. That's the other 50%. Now, what is traction for your company? Look at the data, ask your boss, what has success looked like here in the past? Once you understand what that looks like, you want to, at least for the first month, try to hit that number. And until you hit that number, then you're going to want to continue to grow off of that. So, but before you can grow off of that, you have to bullseye your framework. So what are you going to try to do to optimize the best ROI for yourself and for the company? So obviously there's the 19 traction channels. You want to try these channels within roofing. So pick a category, and you can pick one category per week and focus on that. And by the end of a summer, you should really know what 19 channels work. And after that 3 months, you should be doing really well. And then after those 3 months, you have tested what works best, and you're gonna want three of those to always be in your back pocket at no matter what. 3 channel tests that you know that you can always rely on when you are stuck. And then once you have understood what 3 channels work, you're gonna ask people in your industry how you're what they think of how you're doing it, and then ask for advice on how they would do it, and then combine the two. And I think if you combine those two, you get a great alchemy. Lastly is the critical path thinking. So, how much money you want to make in a specific, how much money you want to make in a specific month is the greatest value. Then you narrow it down. It's how many people are you actually talking to? So real life conversations about the product, not hey, how you doing, and they slam the door. No, like if I'm at least talking to these people for 5 minutes, I know 1 out of 10 people I talk to for more than 5 minutes, I'm gonna get their sale. If I don't get their sale, I know I'm gonna book with um, their insurance. So that's what I know. And after you understand the actions that you need to take in order for your traction needle to move, continue marking down how much hours you're knocking, how many people you're talking to, and how many leads you're getting, and then how many leads are getting accepted through insurance, and that'll lead you to the best way of creating traction for your given company. And overall, thank you guys for watching on how to start up. Have a blessed rest of your day.